Hi, good afternoon. My name is Jamie Toledo, and I'm with the Cedar Rapids Metro Economic Alliance. You're joining us for our lunch live in LinkedIn series. And today we're going to be reviewing kind of some myth busters around renewable energy. I'm sure everyone is aware of how the importance of renewable energy right now to so many factors in business. Primarily for us, the business attraction side has been asking for 100% renewable energy options. Also, most of you are aware that the state of Iowa is ranked third as far as renewable options in wind, solar, and energy storage. So today, we'll be reviewing some of those myth busters. But before we get started, I want to introduce Claire Simmons. She's with Power Up Iowa, and she can let you know a little bit about what Power Up Iowa does. Claire?
Yes, thank you so much, Jamie, and thank you for having me. My name is Claire Simmons, and I am with Power Up Iowa. We are a statewide coalition of renewable energy supporters, and we work to raise awareness for the economic benefits of renewable energy sources. We've seen that while most folks may have seen a wind turbine or solar panel, they may not know just how much that can benefit their communities. And so in my role, I have the opportunity to connect with different community leaders and to help facilitate those educational opportunities on how renewable energy is really reviving and driving our local economies here in Iowa. So I'm happy to be chatting with you today, Jamie. Thank you.
Super. Okay, we're going to get started. It's going to be fact or fiction time. First one, wind and solar power are not reliable. Is that fact or fiction?
Fiction. So by introducing renewable energy sources like wind and solar, that helps to diversify our energy portfolio. And then in turn, that helps to boost the overall resiliency of the energy grid. And on that same token, by building out and upgrading our infrastructure, that also helps to boost the resiliency of the entire system. So, that leads to reliability and more affordability for customers overall.
Okay, next one. Utility scale renewable energy projects avoid CO2 emissions and cut down on water consumption.
Fact. Yes, fact. So renewable energy projects in Iowa have helped to avoid over 30 million metric tons of CO2, which is the equivalent to eliminating millions of cars off of the road. And actually, a really interesting data point that recently came out is that those avoided carbon emissions are equal to about $3,000 to $7,000 in health benefits for the state. So, that's equal to decreased asthma-related hospital room visits, decreased missed work days, things like that. So the clean air that these energy sources help to create is really important to the health of Iowans.
Interesting. Now, as a person with allergies.
Yes, of course.
Okay, next. Wind and solar are expensive. Fact or fiction?
Fiction, very much fiction. So wind and solar are part of the most affordable new electricity sources in the state and in the country. And costs of both of those have fallen significantly over the last decade. And that's a trend that we expect to see continue, which is, fortunate for our customers here.
I hear this one all the time. The next one is wind power harmful to birds and wildlife?
Fiction. So wind farms and designers, they are very carefully designed to minimize wildlife impact. And wind farms are actually responsible for only less than 0.01% of human-related bird deaths. So that's a very small impact there. And I also think it's important to note that, these wind farms are required to undergo very extensive environmental impact studies and research in order to get those permits to begin with. So a lot of thought goes into it before going online.
Yeah. On the backside, are wind turbine blades recyclable?
Yes, they are. So, and this is actually a really interesting and exciting new addition to the industry. We're seeing more and more manufacturing companies, repurpose wind turbine blades for other materials. They're used to make cement most commonly, actually. And there is a recycling company in the Mississippi River area that specializes in this. And since introducing those practices to their company, they are able to expand and will actually be doubling the size of their employees over the next year. So, as we see this come on more and more, it's, a new and exciting addition to the industry that we like to see continue.
Okay, next one. A little bit of a conspiracy theory out there about Russians like putting, devices on these wind power turbines and everything. We know that's just a conspiracy theory, but are living next to wind farms or solar farms dangerous?
No, they are not. So, millions of Americans live and work safely near wind and solar every single day. And the World Health Organization hasn't found any evidence that they're harmful to human health. If anything, as I mentioned previously, renewable energy makes the air that we breathe cleaner and healthier. So it's not more dangerous to anybody living or working near them.
Yeah. Okay, fact or fiction, is it true that wind and solar energy industries provide thousands of jobs, and particularly in Iowa?
Yes, fact. So those renewable energy projects help to employ over 5,000 Iowans. And that's not even counting those who are employed up and down the supply chain, folks in manufacturing and transportation, things like that. But those directly employed, those wind and solar installers, they're part of the fastest growing careers in the United States. So those jobs aren't going anywhere. They're staying right here. And in order to achieve those careers, it's a fast track 2-year degree. And those degrees are offered at Iowa institutions like Kirkwood, like DMAC, Iowa Lakes, places like that. And those institutions really offer their students with really great hands-on experience and get them out into the workforce on a faster track. It's been coming up more and more that, kids may not want that, 4-year traditional track. They might want something different and get them out into the workforce a lot faster. So this is a really great option for them looking for that.
Yeah. And we hear this one a lot of times as an economic development organization, but are renewable energy projects receiving too many incentives as businesses?
Yes, so that's fiction. Those renewable energy projects generate about $50 million in annual tax revenues for local communities. That revenue goes towards, improving infrastructure and public services, things like that. And that also becomes, helps make Iowa become a major business attraction for larger organizations. We've already seen that, with Amazon and Facebook setting up shop here, putting up data centers everywhere and, using renewable energy that way, which is really great. They're investing in our state and they're creating even more jobs for Iowans and, really shows that Iowa is a really great place to set up shop.
Yeah, that is so important. Last one, renewable energy projects take away valuable land from ag production, fact or fiction?
Fiction. So especially wind farms, they only take up about 1% to 2% of land. The rest is undisturbed. And another really great option for landowners and farmers that bring renewable energy onto their property is that they receive land lease payments annually. And that's really important, especially here in Iowa with our unpredictable weather, our tornadoes and derechos, you just never know. So that's a really great option for those farmers and landowners to, get that money back into their pockets in case a derecho decides to come through our state again. So, you just never know here in Iowa.
Right, absolutely. Even a recession, right?
Yes, exactly.
Well, Claire, I can't thank you enough for joining us today. And where can people go again to learn about Power Up Iowa?
Yes, so you can visit our website. It's powerupiowa.com, and you can sign up for our coalition there. And, there's tons of different fact sheets and one-pagers there for you guys to, browse through and different resources there for you as well. So.
Perfect. Yeah, really important with all the different venues that people can get misinformation along with what's actually the truth, right? So,
yes, of course.
Yeah, thank you everybody for joining us. If you want to learn more about the Economic Alliance, you can go to www.cedarrapids.org and look at our other social media channels too. And until next time, see you later.
Thank you.
Bye.